Welcome back. You are still live with Expresso, and we are still connecting you with some incredible sportsmen and women this morning. Now, Capetonian kitesurfer Brett Mason successfully completed an unsupported kite crossing of False Bay to Cape Point, rounding Cape Point, and then finishing at Witsands Beach in Scarborough, covering a distance of 70 kilometers in a time of 3 hours. And as a big air rider, he has achieved a ranking on the WOO World Leaderboard of number 38 in the world. And Brett is with us in studio this morning to chat about the crossing. Brett, did you intend to do this crossing, or did the wind just take you and you just get...
Well, I definitely arrived at the beach at the right time.
Buddy, great to have you here. I've got to ask, before we get into this particular feat, it seems like for the past 13 years you've dedicated yourself to the kite, to many disciplines in that space. What was it about this modality, about this piece of equipment that first got your passion going? What was it that drew you into the sport?
Well, I was very fortunate to grow up in Simonstown on the beach. Surfing was ultimately like what I wanted to do my entire life.
Didn't really have a choice.
Yeah. And then so my brothers bought some kiting equipment, and you know, from the time I got onto the kite, got the kite up into the air and started to ride without any like support around you, you know, you're satisfied instantly. You're not having to hustle for waves like you do when you're surfing, fight the crowds. You know, you just pump up and you go, and yeah, you just need the wind, and you ultimately got a lot of space in the water, and that was the thrill behind it, you know. So that's how it all started 13 years ago.
That being said, I've been out in the water, and I think Langebaan during a massive feat where there were about 70 boarders out in the water and the wind died, and then I had to go and help people get off the water.
Yeah, that happened.
But we are obviously blessed to have some of the best conditions, whether it's the coastline, whether it's the wind here, to be able to do that. What made you attempt this particular fairly iconic feat? What made you attempt this, and what was the plan on the day?
I think ultimately, you know, 13 years ago, I was standing at Glencairn staring across the bay, and I kind of realized on a northwester that, you know, crossing this bay would be relatively easy, but ultimately you'd want some support doing it. Yeah. And then after 13 years of like having this itch that needs to be scratched, I woke up on Tuesday morning last week and I was like, you know, no one wants to go with me. It's relatively difficult to find a group of people that are wanting to do like an adventure kite like this, especially, you know, everyone wants to have a boat close by. And I kind of thought, well, I'm tired of waiting for other people, and Thursday was the day. The wind was going to blow, and I thought, well, let me just go for it.
When it was actually happening, it's great in notion, but then was there a point you were like, okay, I've gone too far, I can't go back, I can't go forward, I can't, because this is, I mean, physically, this is quite a grueling thing to undertake.
Yeah, and I was about halfway through the bay, which was only a quarter way through the trip. And I thought to myself, you know, I've got a brand new baby at home. I've got a 10-year-old daughter who kite surfs. I've got, you know, a few companies and people that like rely on me. And this is probably not my smartest move. And here I am sitting in the middle of False Bay, the breeding ground of the white shark. And I'm like,
people coming
quite
from all over
literally
the world
starting to panic.
Shark.
And I had to put that aside for a moment and just get through to the other side, which...
You've hit the nail on the head there, and I think you get to a point, certainly at my age in life, where you search out these kinds of experiences because the rest of your life is not like that. Yeah. How important is it for you now, having experienced something like that and tasted that, to do that every once in a while, to wake up on a random Tuesday morning and do something that pushes you beyond your comfort zone?
Yeah, and that's... You know, it's hugely important, you know, and I find a lot of people are always limited by their imagination, or, you know, in business, people would be limited by their access to finance. Yeah. But the reality is that if you have an idea, whether it has been as mundane as crossing a bay on a kite or opening a business, all you have to do is figure out a way. And I did. I was like, there has to be a way I can cross this bay without support. And you know, in today's day and age, you just download an app and someone can track you. Yeah. And in this case, it was NSRI. And they really did give me the peace of mind to go like, okay, I can pump up and I can go across the bay, and NSRI are watching me.
Yeah, thank you to them. All of this being said, would you let your daughter do it? No. At what point would you do it with her?
No, I think the thing is that I'm happy to put myself at risk, but the second you start putting other people at risk, you're responsible for them, and I ultimately don't want to take on the responsibility of another life. Having Sarah on the water or close to a beach, the safety is there, and there are other riders there. But you don't take your daughter on an excursion, across a 30-kilometer bay in deep ocean, and
Yeah, no, completely. No, I've got 2 young kids as well, and just the notion of it's making the hairs on my arms stand on end. How cool is it that she is following in your footsteps? Do you think she's going to surpass your ability?
She is an incredible young lady and a phenomenal kite surfer. So it's only a matter of time before she surpasses what I'm able to do and even comprehend. So yeah, and for her to be joining me on the water is, I think every dad's dream come true. I'm ultimately the luckiest father on the planet.
Oh man.
Yeah, very cool.
Probably second luckiest, man. Second luckiest, man. Absolutely beautiful. You've got me thinking immediately. One kind of quarter of my brain is thinking about the next big scary thing I can do for myself. And maybe that's what we need to do every once in a while. Certainly as parents, is do something for ourselves that challenges us, that scares us, maybe that invigorates us. But you've inspired a lot of people. I look forward to interviewing you again in about 3-4 months after the next one.
Yeah, there's a few more trips that I'd like to do. Ultimately, this was one small portion of a run that I'd like to do, which starts at Scarborough and then ends in Saldanha, which is about 450 k's. It's not a world record attempt. I'd like to do it in 10 hours. But you just add each little individual segment of the trip so that you're more comfortable with the run, and then it all just will go in one seamless package, hopefully, at the end of the day.
Just got to do it on a random Tuesday, please, eh? Just wake up on a random Tuesday and do it. Buddy, thank you so much for inspiring us this morning. Stay safe out in the water and keep savouring those beautiful moments with your daughter out in the water as well, man. Inspired me for the trajectory ahead as a parent. But I cannot believe how important it is for us to, every once in a while, just take ourselves out of that comfort zone and do something that really does impress yourself again. Get excited about being out there and being active.